welcome to a stupendously exciting edition of Inside Media Weekly. I'm Ryan Boni. I'm joined, Kevin Bastos.
Well, thank you for having me.
On today's show. Oh, on every show, but almost every show.
Almost every show. I missed the one.
And Justin Pinto, do you have 100% attendance over the years?
No.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I started with somebody else.
Yes. Well, right, but since you joined.
No, I think I was definitely late to one show for sure, so I only made part of it that one time.
I remember that.
I remember that, and then I don't know. Who knows after the last? I mean,
yeah,
last few years, it's all kind of
mishing together.
Yeah.
Speaking of mishing together, oh, I didn't start this. Oh, there it is.
Oh,
the Sea Otters.
Is one taking a nap? Is that one on the?
They're still alive. Bag. They're still there. Okay, good.
The purse there.
I don't.
Is that a bag on the? Or is that an otter doing yoga? Is that a yoga mat?
I think it's a yoga mat. I don't want to alarm anybody, but I feel like weren't there 5 or 6 sea otters at one point in time?
Maybe they're out of vacation.
Okay. There's a third one. All right. I'm feeling a little better. They may be off the camera.
There could be 2 in that little pond there.
That's true. Lots of sea otter excitement
Lounging.
out in Monterey. We keep missing feeding time, but they look like they're doing all right. So speaking of doing all right, this past weekend, yet again, yes, it was Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore, number 1. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, cleaning up at number 2. Father Stu debuted at number 5. Of course, the Mark Wahlberg, Mel Gibson vehicle.
Yeah, that's what I want in a movie. The Mark Wahlberg, Mel Gibson vehicle.
Ambulance being at number 7, 15 million over 2 weekends. I feel like it's got to be a Michael Bay low, I would imagine, for movies, but maybe not. Maybe not in his first. Excited? Fantastic Beasts?
I think this may be it. And I've heard that the movie is not as good, but that the new casting for, what is the character's name?
Grindelwald?
Yeah, was good. He's a great actor.
Aren't we on like Grindelwald 3 out of 3? Hasn't it been someone different every time?
No. Depp showed in the last 2 minutes of the first film, just showed up, and then was in the second film, and then they fired him for the last one. Replaced him for the last one. I think he's like, not quite Mel Gibson territory, but, hey, I think we're out on you.
Father Stu.
I did not even know about Father Stu until the whole, that weekend things were coming out. I was like, Father Stu? That's a movie? That's real?
Apparently it is.
Yes.
I must have been watching something that hit because I saw 1,000 previews for it.
No, I did not.
So
I think I saw 2 right before it came out.
But
I don't even remember seeing anything about it.
I think I went and saw The Batman, and I think there was a preview for that.
Well, speaking of the Batman, how about this? Let's get rid of the Batman passes Suicide Squad at worldwide box office. Now, this is kind of a confusing story if you ask me, because it talks about $750 million.
Suicide Squad or The Suicide Squad, Batman or The Batman.
But they go, well, the Batman
Yes.
is not considered DC Extended Universe, but Suicide Squad was Extended Universe. And originally Batman was going to be part of the Extended Universe with Ben Affleck coming back. Then you had Robert Pattinson. I don't fully understand what's going on. And then I was like, oh, 750, it must be the most. No, it's not the most of any DC. Where were we? There was a listing here at the bottom. Talking about, of course, Wonder Woman. Oh, that Lost movie. Or Lost. Where were we? Here we go.
It's in the last paragraph.
So yeah, it's falls short, technically falling short of Batman versus Superman, or sorry, Batman v Superman. It's $873 million haul, and Wonder Woman was $822, and then of course Aquaman is the still unbeaten $1.148 billion worldwide.
That's right.
I know you like the Aquaman.
I haven't watched it in a while. Maybe it aged poorly.
The article does mention Suicide Squad was the only DC EU film that has ever won an Academy Award, Best Makeup and Hairstyling.
Wow.
Oscar winner. Can't take it away.
So what'd you think? You
I
saw
gotcha.
the Batman.
Yes.
And?
B-.
Okay.
Did not do it for me. It felt like it was trying to be too realistic and not realistic at the same time. It was fine. A lot of stuff crammed in there at the end, and a lot of what I felt like unnecessary slow-mowing doing stuff. I was like, I don't know, the last climactic scene where he's cutting off that giant wire and falling to the pool or whatever. I'm like, wouldn't he electrocute? And then it was just to be like, hey, I'll help you guys out. I'm here now. Come on, come out of the cage. You can come out of the cage instead of just staying in the cage there. That was the...
It had a lot of slow moments, for sure. It definitely... I told you, I think I mentioned this on the last time we had a show. The original cut was like almost 4 hours.
Holy frijoles.
And like a lot, I mean, and I thought to myself, like, I thought you could maybe trim like 30 minutes off of this.
Yeah, I know.
Like, this is 2:45. Like, I don't want to say we're in like Planet of the Apes territory where we're just like watching people walk for long extended periods of time. This is, this isn't like that Star Trek the motion picture where it's just like the shuttle ride where it's like, how long is this?
Oh, that movie is terrible.
How long are we we're still going on? It's still going. Yep, still, yes. So I mean, there's definitely moments of that, and yeah, like you said, when it went fast, it went fast, and when it was slow, it was slow. But they have dropped a couple, like at least one. They dropped a Joker scene that was cut.
Oh, they did.
On I saw it on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure it's somewhere else. I mean, if you Google deleted Joker scene, but like that scene was like 5 minutes long. So didn't really. I don't feel like it advanced the plot or anything. I feel like now it's like people are interested. It's doing well. So it's like, let's start to drum up the buzz.
I thought Pattinson was very good.
I thought everybody in the movie was really good.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like the interplay and the sort of almost changing roles. Or I thought putting first time around against the Riddler was a cool idea. I thought it was good to not have yet another Batman origin story. It was good, but not great.
Great joke. Was it The Onion? Said Colin Farrell becomes the Penguin by removing his typical Hollywood makeup.
That's pretty funny.
It was pretty. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it was like, because he's unrecognizable in the
No.
movie. Like if you don't know it's him,
Right.
you have no clue. You're not going to be like, who is this?
Right.
I recognize this person. Who is this?
His voice was unrecognizable, and the look of him was unrecognizable.
No, he was really good.
Very good.
He was really good.
Very good. Like you said, I don't think anyone was bad. I thought the movie was not great. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it was dark and tough at times to totally hear everything. Like that Joker extended scene, like I had to like really pay attention. And I'm like, what did he say? Like it's like sometimes there's it's almost like, for lack of a better term, too loud. And I'm not just talking about like the sound of it all, but there's just too much going on to sometimes pay attention to it all. I felt like in that movie. And it's really, really, like, it is really, really just dark. Like, tough to see things overall. Not necessarily, like, the tone of the movie, just literally the way the movie is shot. It's like, sometimes you're like...
Everything's in really pitch blackness.
Yes.
Like, almost like they're hiding things on the other side of every scene. But it was... I'm glad I went. I think it would be better in the theater than on home movie, but I don't think I'll watch it 100 times. I didn't leave there with a, wow, that was terrific feeling. But I also didn't leave with a, oh, that was terrible. That was kind of...
Well, with DC, that sometimes is
I know.
usually, like, there's usually no middle ground.
Right. And that's maybe, well, I thought the first Superman movie was somewhere in that range. Good, not great. But...
So where do you guys rank, unfortunately I have not yet seen it, but where do you guys rank Robert Pattinson in the order of best to worst Batman? Well, first of all, who's the worst Batman?
George Clooney, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's tough to really appreciate how good they were at Batman with how
Bad the
bad the
was.
movies were. So it becomes tricky.
Well, I certainly always felt like I think everyone played Bruce Wayne really well. Even Val Kilmer, George Clooney were good Bruce Waynes, but not necessarily great.
I liked Val Kilmer's Batman film. I liked it. I mean, I didn't... I don't think it gets enough credit, and I think that's reviled in that transitional film. I don't think it's as good as the first two. But the fourth one is certainly a turd. It's garbage. But I think I'd put... It's really tough to put, like, ranking the second set of 3 and the first 4. Where would you put them? I mean, I would probably put Dark Knight above all of them.
I haven't watched the last 2 of the original 4, so to speak. I guess there was one before that with Adam West.
Oh, yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, it's such a different style of Batman across the board. It's tough to even put them in the same... It's almost like 2 different, like, that should be considered like extended universe now at this point. Like, that's like Earth 72 Batman, Adam Wade's Batman. It's like, he's on a totally different planet. Adam West Batman, excuse me. Like, my first thought was better than Clooney, better than Val, but I haven't watched Val. You talk about how good you thought Val was.
I did.
I mean, I probably haven't watched it in 20 years, at least. Batman Forever or Batman and Robin. So I'm going off of, like, my initial reaction. Maybe even when I might not even seen it since I was, like, saw it in high school in some ways. So to try to, like, categorize. But my first thought is he's better than those 2. I don't think he's better than Keaton or Bale. He's better than Ben. I didn't mind Ben, but he's better than Ben. He was better than I thought he was going to be. I mean, I thought he did a really nice job.
Oh, yeah, he was good.
He
like,
did really
there was
well.
no actor that was bad.
I'd say he's like above average.
It's tricky for me to remember or even distinguish all the Bale ones. I think the second one is clearly the best, and the third one's probably the worst. But they're all really good. They're all really, really strong.
I think I'd agree with your ranking there. 2's the best. I think 3's the worst. Because 3 is just very uneven, I feel like. If 3 is too long.
Is it the Bane in that?
Bane's in 3.
And he's really too dark. Like, in the first set, he was ridiculous. I mean, he looked like a pro wrestler on bad steroids. But in the second set, he was just trying to be too far dark the other way. And the ending with that weird helicopter-y pullback and sort of closing, not closing at the same time.
Well, they kind of left it open for like a Robin, didn't they?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know where I'd put, like, Batman, original Batman, and Batman Returns with those. I remember seeing Batman and Batman Returns in 1989 and 1992 or whatever it was, and I was like, the first one is so much better. And then I rewatched it 10 years ago with my kids, and I was like, the first one did not age well. It really didn't. But I thought the second one seemed better years later than the first one did. Like, Danny DeVito, I thought, did a really good job in that, and Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer is very good in that one. So I might even bring them to an even level on those. And I thought Jack Nicholson was perfect, and now he seems goofy next to everybody else's Joker. Especially next to Heath Ledger, who's just... in that role killed him, quite literally. But, as a viewer... I appreciate the performance. So
they can do a Batman multiverse like Spider-Man and bring all of the Batman back together.
I just keep thinking, like, they keep throwing more things in this whole DC multiverse that just don't work. Like, the Wonder Woman film was great, and the second one was awful. Just bad. The Suicide Squad first one was horrendous, and the second one was kind of good.
You talking about the second one that was, like, with John Cena?
Yes.
I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it became... I mean, that was the guy from Guardians, wasn't it, who directed it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, I thought... And
it also didn't feel like Guardians.
No, it didn't. It had a similar... I mean, well, Guardians is PG-13, and it's not.
No.
I thought it was interesting, like Polka Dot Man.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get me to be, like, interested in Polka Dot Man?
It was a great pull.
Yeah, and I hear Peacemaker, the show, is awesome.
I have not watched it, but I'm sure he's terrific. When he was doing his promotional stuff for the Suicide Squad film, he was outstanding. He showed up in costume with that ridiculous hat everywhere and grinning like an idiot for the camera every time. He was wonderful.
No, it was good. It was really good. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, that was good. What's the Idris Elba? That his name?
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was outstanding as well. I did not care for the Shark Sylvester Stallone thing. That was
I really
weird
did.
for
I
me.
like Shark.
It's weird for me.
Book.
But
You're not going to get the action figures build chart to build a figure.
No, I am not. No. Less things in my house. We talk about the agenda, the Razzies, Bruce.
So,
Is he officially? Well, I'll let you introduce it first.
well, no, bio.
The headline just caught me off guard, but
So,
I read it just a second ago.
Getting old stinks because all of our old favorite actors. There's actually 2 stories tied. I want to talk about. So, Bruce Willis has been struggling a lot with his health, and his family announced that he is officially retired. And there was a bit of strange timing in that the Razzies were kind of making fun of the fact that he had just done a whole bunch of movies, 6 movies last year, or 10
6
movies?
that were released last year.
And so they gave, a Razzie for the worst basic Bruce Willis movie, and then not realizing that, I guess in essence, he was basically accepting everything he could because his health has been failing. And there's been all these stories coming out of the last few movies he's been on with having an earpiece in because he can't remember lines and he doesn't speak very well. So sad to see Bruce Willis getting out of the acting biz and that his health is declining. But I know at one point in time you were collecting every single Bruce Willis movie.
It got a little tougher there,
Do you have Moonlighting on DVD?
I have some of it.
All right.
I definitely have some of it. I don't think I have it all.
I heard it went out of print. Is the reason I'm asking.
That's why I started getting rid of some DVDs, and then it was like it became tough to find stuff. I definitely have the way my basement is organized.
Got it.
Currently, I definitely walk by some Bruce Willis VHS tapes quite frequently to leave to come to school, like Return of Bruno, which I don't think ever got anything besides VHS.
Wow.
Is down. I think that's actually one from a video store. It was when you used to pick up the box with the client and they put the tape in it, send it home with you, and give it back. But no, I have a lot of it. Yes, I do have a lot of Bruce Willis stuff. He was really great at the time because he did everything. He was really good in action. He was really good in comedy. Like you said, Moonlighting, to Die Hard.
It's an outstanding show.
Yeah, it goes. The range was really, really all over. Yeah, it was great.
And then on to, of course, Armageddon.
Armageddon, a classic.
Well, and he did a lot of critically reviled box office successes and then critically reviled box office failures. Everyone dumps on Hudson Hawk. I saw it and I didn't hate it. It was fun, goofy film, but I guess my transition or getting out of this is maybe it's time for the Razzies to be over. They even sort of allude to that Shelley Duvall removing of that because she alleged that Stanley Kubrick was abusing her during the production of The Shining and all of this. And and also maybe that was kind of insensitive as well. There might be a better way to put this, but maybe it's not kind of nice to do that where we're saying you stunk at this. Is there any other category where we put out a hey, you stunk what you did, or that was a terrible decision?
They do they'll do that show. I forget, it's on ESPN. Used to have Michelle Beadle and Colin Cowherd. Sports something, I forget the name of it.
The worst plays the week.
They do
whatever.
cheers and jeers, and sports don't do a not top 10, but it's not it's just like
breaking
bloopers.
basketballs
it's like bloopers
or dropping.
Stuff. It's not like we know they didn't mean to have the ball, the Jose Canseco ball off the head for the home run, where these people weren't necessarily setting out to make
something
terrible movies necessarily. So it's a little bit different in that regard, but
yeah, I don't know. Maybe box office just be the goal anymore. Many of these movies I don't even hear of. It's easy to poke fun at a big movie or a movie that was hyped a lot and sort of tanked. Did anyone see any of the 6 movies Bruce Willis released last year? Can you name even 3 of the titles of movies Bruce Willis released last year?
Their worst movie last year was Diana the Musical, where they attempted to make a musical about the life of Princess Diana, and obviously almost nobody saw.
Wow.
This anywhere. So
hearing of it for the first time.
It cleaned up. We didn't get a chance to talk about the Razzies. But,
something like Cats you know, where there's big money behind it, a lot of famous people, and it's, you know...
Well, that's my thought, too.
It was weird in the 80s as a musical kind of a thing, but...
I didn't understand that. It didn't seem like there was a clamoring for, you know what we need? To remake Cats.
As a movie.
Yes.
They made a lot of those things lately. Turned them in, well, musicals being turned into movies, and also the remaking of movies or musicals from years ago that everyone's like, oh, did we need another Chucky movie? Maybe we didn't.
Was it a movie or a show that they just redid?
I don't know. I don't know.
I thought maybe it was a show.
Or maybe the Blair Witch. Project. So, sorry to piggyback on that.
Grab.
We do not need another Blair Witch.
Well, here's my thing.
There was another Blair Witch.
To me,
Two? You talking about that one?
To me, a reboot.
And 3 video games.
But to me, a reboot is the actors are getting old. You know, they're too expensive. But when you reboot, when you basically had a movie that was unknowns, especially at the time, it just seems like I'm sure you could get them all back to do a Blair Witch Project, Part 7 or whatever we're up to.
I just don't see I don't see making another Blair Witch because the whole point of it was so unique and so it was so different, and it was such, you know, it's not like the same thing as The Sixth Sense with Bruce Willis, but like you didn't see The Sixth Sense coming. Like, you know, like once you see The Sixth Sense, like watching it again doesn't necessarily make sense. Like you can watch it again and be like, oh, I didn't notice that, or I didn't see this, but like the real moment of the movie, your true moment of like enjoyment, it's like over. Like you're not going to ever appreciate the movie as much as you did the first time. Sure. So I don't know.
And unfortunately, these movies bring about really, really bad copies. Obviously, we had found footage movies like crazy for that 4 or 5 year period or whatever after.
Activity.
And some were good and some not so good, but
they all made probably a boatload of cash because they're cheap to make.
Paranormal Activity, I think they made like 6 of those things. Remember?
They made a lot.
Control. Val Kilmer. So the Top Gun Maverick trailer came out, and everyone's kind of waiting to see if Val Kilmer is going to show up in it, and he shows up in a photo of it because obviously he's in it. But I was, you know, speaking of people getting old, you know, obviously he had a tracheotomy. He basically can't speak anymore, and so I guess there's AI behind.
I've seen interviews of him lately. He's funny.
Yeah,
I mean, kudos to the man putting himself out there from, I would say, former sex icon to a guy who uses, you know, the clip to talk, whatever the name of the machine is, and he's funny and quippy. He did something with his daughter, did a documentary with her that's supposed to be very good. I think it was nominated for an award. But, I mean, good for the man getting out there, you know.
Speaking of getting out there, Jason Momoa is going to be everywhere. So, I was in Fast and Furious 10, but he has just signed up for, it says, yet another blockbuster. And spoiler alert, it's Minecraft the movie. He's joined the cast of the live-action Minecraft the movie.
I'm sure I needed a Minecraft movie.
And I always think it's funny. It made me think of the Emoji Movie or movies. You know, Hollywood always seems to be about
Sonic the Hedgehog Part 2.
Sonic made a lot of money.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
I know.
But it seems to me that Hollywood's always like about 4 or 5 years. I mean, Minecraft's been a big deal, you know, for obviously close to a decade or whatever, but it just seems, and what's interesting too, by the way, Minecraft is, as they just showed in the little clip there, going to be directed by Jared Hess, who of course was the director of Napoleon Dynamite. Hasn't done anything too major since then, but Jason Momoa, you're going to be seeing him on the big screen many times, many more times as we go forward.
You got to make hay while the sun shines.
Listen.
Right? You got to go for it. Like, I don't know if Jason Momoa is going to have the longest of long careers. So you might as well just sign up. And it's like Minecraft. I mean, probably we'll get a Razzie.
Oh, certainly.
Like, if they're still around. But, like you said, when the Brinks truck comes in.
Yes. You can't just say, you know what? I have enough money. I'm good. I'm all right. Who was it? Dennis Hopper said, you know, I made Super Mario Brothers, so my kids had a fantastic Christmas and we took a great vacation. I mean, that movie is another turd.
The new one coming out, isn't there?
I'm sure of it.
Isn't Chris Pratt Mario?
Oh my gracious!
I
don't know.
Can only hope so.
I thought it was Chris Pratt was Mario.
Oh boy! Oh my gosh! I would not be surprised.
Well, the cast of that we have to look that up. We'll have to put that on next week's agenda. The cast of that movie is outrageous, from what my memory tells me pre-pandemic.
Before we run out of time, couple quick stories. Speaking of crazy, the axe used in The Shining is up for auction. For anyone
I
that's
need that.
curious to,
I think I'm good.
It seems to bring like some bad
that.
vibes with it.
So I don't know if it said what their expectation was on it, but the minimum bid. I'm sorry. Currently, there it is. Currently sitting at $50,000. It's valued between 60 and 90,000.
I certainly would not buy it, but for someone who has more money than they can use, and apparently no homeless people around them, should I help out, feed a family, buy a car, or
buy the
I can have
axe.
a used axe?
And one last story. Johnny Depp's doctor details search for actor's severed finger. So apparently, during all this Amber Heard divorce settlements and stuff, and the lawsuits that are going back and forth between them, apparently his Johnny Depp's severed fingertip was a source of discussion during a $50 million defamation trial against his wife Amber Heard.
So now that we've settled the big stuff, what about the severed finger? What are we gonna do about the finger? We need to figure this out. What?
Did it say it happened in 2015? I mean, haven't we haven't figured it out. If we haven't figured it out by now, I don't like our chances of figuring it out the finger 7 years later.
Good settlement you're going into if you're figuring out, or you're even talking about a severed finger. Perfect.
That just doesn't seem relevant.
No.
To me. But I have not been reading the transcripts. So
Correct.
I'm not quite sure where it fits.
Not caught up.
No.
So this weekend, The Northman is coming out.
I have seen a commercial for that.
The Bad Guys.
I've seen a commercial for
Right.
that.
And then, of course, I don't know about you guys, but an unbelievable marketing campaign, because I see this commercial every 5 seconds. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, featuring Nicolas
have seen
Cage
that.
and Pedro Pascal. So we'll have to see.
Nicolas Cage is being John Malkovich type of movie.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which has an amazing, sorry, before we go, I just have to read to you. A cash-strapped Nicolas Cage agrees to make a paid appearance at a billionaire superfan's birthday party, but is really an informant for the CIA since the billionaire fan is a drug kingpin and gets cast in a Tarantino movie. I'm thinking #1 at the box office next week, but we'll have to find out next time on Inside Media Weekly. Thanks for joining us.
Yes. I might have to go see this.
Fabulous.
Are we taking now?
Oh, yeah.